let's start from the beginning. I've lost my job about 5 years ago now due to my chronic illness, which led me then to not being able to walk for quite a while. I can't really remember if I ever mentioned it on this whole channel, but I suffer from Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is basically a genetic condition, and I got diagnosed probably 7 years ago. Can't really remember that. It's a long time, and it has been suspected for way longer than that, because the signs of EDS were quite clear to every doctor that knew about EDS, and yeah, we just had to find a specialist to get diagnosed. So I got diagnosed. Things progressed for the worst, and I've lost my job due to EDS and due to the fact that I couldn't walk or stand up on my own for a quite long period of time. And that was the first time I fell into this big depressive hole, because I've lost my job, and when you're just stuck at home and you have nowhere to go and everything all of a sudden revolves around your sickness, it's really depressing. So, I mean, who could have thought that a sickness that you never wished to have could be a cause of depression? Wow, that is a revolutionary well, mind game, I don't know. Anyways, moving on. I've lost my job, fell into a depressed hole, went to a therapist that is specialized in basically helping people to accept their illnesses. She either helps chronically ill people with like EDS or rheumatism or MS, for example, but also people with cancer, and she supports cancer treatments with her like specialty in mental health. And she is a gift to this world. I had quite a lot of therapists throughout my life for other reasons, not for this reason, but I think she's one of the most qualified people I've ever been, and she helped me out of my depression. Not only out of my depression, she also helped me out of the wheelchair with challenging me with little tasks that she gave me to proceed in the future, to basically challenge myself, to rebuild muscles, to go back on my feet, to challenge doctors to help me, all that good stuff. And about, let's say, 3 years after my diagnosis, I had the courage to go to my doctor and demand a brace that I would then need to walk in the future, and I have that brace. It was quite a fight that I had to put up for that, but I now have a HKAFO. HKAFO. So it's hip, knee, ankle, foot orthese. So it's a brace, but orthese is the English word for that. Anyways, and this thing really helped me to get out of the wheelchair, and it helped me to get back on my feet quite literally, and helped me go back out in the world. It didn't really help me with getting some work. I mean, that's quite obvious, I guess, because like walking isn't my only issue with my sickness, but it was the main issue. So I went out in the world, into the world again. Went out to go for a walk with my dog, go grocery shopping on my own again, and considering that my mom had to help me sometimes, or my partner had to help me sometimes getting dressed, getting undressed, or taking a shower, I all of a sudden could do that again, and it was like, I can't explain this feeling. It's like not the nicest thing ever. It's like a milestone, but like being really angry about like that you had to reach that milestone, but you're really happy at the same time. I don't know how to explain that feeling. It's a very weird feeling, but it's a very good feeling as well. It's like when you defeat your enemy in a battle. You know? That feeling, I guess. Probably. I don't know. I've never been in a war. I've never fought a battle outside of my chronic illness, so that's how I imagine it to be. Anyways, again, moving on. I'm trying to not to get too much sidetracked. Then, about, I guess, sorry. Sometimes I inhale and then I don't exhale and then I can't really talk. We're keeping this cool. Then about probably 2.5 years ago, I would say, I started going back into art as a hobby, because or like not a hobby, as a passion. Art has always been my passion, but I have been a single parent and working before the chronic illness like went south, or my health went south. So I couldn't get the time to do art and to explore art a bit further and to get better at art even. I don't know how to explain that, but I probably should have made a script beforehand. So, I don't know. I don't tell you this to get, how's it called, solidarity? I don't know. Just to explain myself on where I'm coming from and why I'm struggling with my self-worth. And not only my self-worth, but also my art and everything else. So, moving on. About 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, I remembered all of a sudden that I always had a passion for art, but before my health went south, that's such a tough word for me to say, south. It's actually not hard, but sometimes my tongue twists. Before my health went south, I've been a single parent. I mean, yes, I had my partner, but we had 2 different households, and he's also a single parent, like a solo single parent with the child at home at himself. So basically, I've still been a big single parent. I still have been a single parent at this point. Yes, with a partner, but we met up about 3 to 4 times for like a couple of hours, and then 1 time a week we had sleepovers, or maybe 2 times, but that's it. So just so you know where I'm coming from, basically being a single parent and working full time put my passion for art aside, and I completely forgot about my passion for art and my passion for drawing and my passion for painting and everything else. And about 2.5 years ago, I think, I told my partner that I loved doing art. I mean, I still have old like acrylic paintings and stuff like that laying around my flat, so he obviously knew that. But I told him that I've always wanted to try out oil paint and always wanted to try out to explore art a bit further and to learn a bit more about different materials of art and art styles, and I wanted to find my own art style. And then when we kept talking about it, I told him that my biggest dream, even as a child, was to be a full-time artist, to work full-time on my art and to earn enough money with my art to live a good life. I don't need to be rich. I don't want to be rich because I dislike rich people, but I want to make enough money for me to have a comfortable life where I have enough money for food, enough money for housing, enough money for my car payment, and enough money for like hobbies or adventures that we are taking as a family. So we started talking about YouTube and ways to find people that might want to buy my art. Hence why we are now here at this YouTube channel. I've started this, I don't know, I can't remember, or the first one. This is not this one that I've started initially. The first one that I've started, I deleted because I hated everything. Then I've started this one, and I continuously uploaded videos and then deleted videos, and then I uploaded videos and I deleted videos because I kept hating the side of myself on camera, the side of me in my wheelchair on camera or with my brace on camera, and it was like showing myself how little I can do on a day-to-day basis and how quickly I'm exhausted due to my chronic fatigue syndrome that I also have from my EDS, which again I have some comorbidities, I think it's called in English. Hopefully it is, I don't know, but you get it. I have different illnesses that are connected or due to the EDS that I have. So chronic fatigue is one of those, and I've been struggling in the beginning when I've started this channel with chronic fatigue. So I started an artwork and then I had to take long breaks and I had to sleep in between because my cheeks became red, I became a fever, and like I can't explain the exhaustion that you feel when you have chronic fatigue. It's not like not only exhaustion, it's like you tried to swim through a sea for like kilometer over kilometer over kilometer, and like you swam about 150 kilometers through the sea, probably through the North Sea, like this really rigid water, and then you're absolutely exhausted and you can't even move, and every movement that you make will make you nauseous or give you a big headache or whatever. There are different symptoms that I'm experiencing when I have chronic fatigue. So I kept filming and it was a lot of fun. I kept editing and it was okay. Kept uploading, was okay. After a couple of days or weeks, didn't feel so sure about these videos anymore, and then after a bit time of thinking, I deleted the videos again. And this is due to the fact that I thought that my art isn't good enough, and also due to the fact that I usually sit here not really put together. Sometimes I do, because sometimes I have the time and the passion and the energy, but usually I'm not. I have to have a look at what my dog is doing in the garden, sorry. Okay, my dog was doing some mischief in the garden. Leib. Ja, guck nicht so. See, hör auf da. Anyways, back to the video. I told you that it is absolutely unscripted. So I struggled with my art, and I was so focused on getting better that I did not realize that I have gotten way better during the time that I was trying to get better, which is like so crazy to me now looking back, that I couldn't see my progress for the life of me because I was so focused on getting better and doing good art that I wanted to jump from like 1 to 10 in about a second, and it doesn't work like this. I mean, you get better with every single drawing, with every single painting, with like the more you get a feeling for proportions, and I don't say that I'm perfect right now. The more you get a feeling for proportions and for the material that you're using even, the better you get at art. And when I wasn't absolutely focused on my progress. I was absolutely focused on finding my own style, not realizing that I found my style. I couldn't see it, which is really, really crazy for me to think about, because just recently, about 2 weeks ago, I have been in my art course and I finished this painting in my art course. And then my art teacher came up to me and she was like, I think you found your style, haven't you? And I was like, so? I didn't know what to respond, because I was like, no, I haven't found my style yet, because why? Because I'm just experimenting with everything that I might like in a painting. Beanie, wo ist dein Platz? She thinks that she's getting food, but it's not dinner time yet. It is just 6 in the evening, and she's expecting dinner, but dinner is at 8. So, anyways, I did this, and I couldn't see like the style that I had. And then my art teacher told me, yeah, but you're like, every single time you start a new painting, I can see it's from you. Even if I wouldn't see you painting that painting, was that the right grammar? If I haven't seen you paint that painting, that's the right grammar, right? I guess. I would still know that it's a painting that you have done. And when I came home, I had a look on all of the paintings that I have been painting so far. And I realized that she is right. And since then, I not only look at my paintings with that I could probably now see my style of art, but also with my ink paintings. I don't know, you could probably not really see them. Yeah, they're behind the laptop. I'm watching Mother's Day right now because I'm going to continue sketching after this intro for this video as well. So if you see my ink paintings, you can still see that they are mine, that they are like, they have my handwriting, even if you don't know that I am the one that made them. So it's interesting how focused I was on finding my own art style and ending up finding my art style without realizing that I found my own art style, which is crazy to me. But anyways, that made me really proud because I've been achieving something that I was so focused on. And last time I've been in my art course, I made another painting and I ended up hating every single thing about this painting. It was just a nature painting, nothing big. And my art teacher told me that this painting is on a good way, on a good note. It needs a bit more work, but it's a good painting overall, or a good start to the painting. And I couldn't see that. And then my other with me students, how's it called in English? I don't know. The other students from the course came over, and one of them told me that she struggles with the same thing. And it's when you paint and you're so focused on the details and what is wrong with the painting that you can't really see the painting overall anymore, because you're just focused on the mistakes that you made. And she told me to hide it in my flat when I'm home, and a couple of days later I should take another look on the painting with more fresh eyes. And now I can see that it's not a bad painting. It's like not good yet because it's not done yet, but it's not as terrible as I thought. So I realized that I've been like trying to force art onto me, but only like forcing the techniques of art onto me, but without the enjoyment. And because I couldn't feel enjoyment, I had a very tough time keeping up with painting or drawing every single day or every single week even. Sometimes I've not touched my brushes and pens for months, and then I needed external like motivation with buying new art products to start to paint and sketch again. And this isn't the right way. So right now I'm really focused on my ink paintings because I try to upload a few more shorts to keep me kind of accountable. I don't try to upload every single day, but I'm trying to upload like multiple times a week to show my art to the world, even my sketchbook art, which is sometimes really tough because my sketchbook art, it feels like I'm showing my diary to the world, to be really honest. But the more I upload my art and the more feedback I get from other people, the more I realize that I have been my harshest critic and my worst critic, and I have not only been my worst critic, I have been my worst nightmare and my worst enemy as well. I like gave myself the worst comments even when someone critiques my art in a way, because they dislike the art side, or because they dislike certain parts of the art, or they dislike like small little details, or they want to give constructive criticism and help me grow. They do it really respectful. I think I've never had a really bad negative comment. I mean, yes, I just started and I don't have a large following, and this might start in the future, but when you realize that there is some valid critique and people want to criticize you like respectfully, they do it respectfully, and I'm not showing the same respect to myself in basically every single situation of my life. Not only with my art, but I think it's mostly obvious in my art for myself, because like the art is something that I really want to be good at and really want to be able to sell my art at one point. So yeah, I'm now trying to be not so hard to myself. I'm trying to sketch as much as possible. I have some pre-made sketches on my marker pad from Ohuhu that I'm going to ink and I'm going to upload. That's a terrible time to stop recording because I'm eating a cookie right now. There have been. So yeah, this is basically an introduction to myself and to my channel. I will probably not talk a lot of times about my sickness, because it's not that I try to avoid my sickness or my chronic illness, either way. I just try to not focus too much on that and make that my whole personality, and I don't mean that in a very mean way, but I feel sometimes people, when they get chronically ill, their whole personality starts to be like being chronically ill, and they only know one topic, and that is illness and illnesses and treatments and treatment plans and medications and doctors and all that stuff. And that sounded mean. Either way, I couldn't really rephrase that any way less mean, I don't know. But basically, I try to not focus too much on that, because it pushes me back into depression and anxiety and like being angry about the world and about everything. And usually when I'm angry, I don't let it out on other people, I only let it out on my own. And I'm right now learning to show myself love and compassion, and I'm trying to not be too hard and harsh on myself. I'm trying to give myself permission in a way to be imperfect as a human being and also as an artist, but also trying to like nourish my body as it needs. I'm trying to give my body food, listen to my body, give my body enough water, because I'm really, really, really struggling with my water intake. It's like horrific. Even when I have a track that apps my water intake, I keep on forgetting to drink enough water. And I'm trying to get better at that. I think it's just like something that you have to repeat and make a routine that it becomes like more of an automatic routine sometimes, or at one point. So I'm trying to have my water near me at every single time, and I'm always trying to remember, like every hour, to take a sip of my water and drink more water instead of soft drinks. And it sometimes works. Most of the times it works. I'm sometimes failing it, but it's the same with my food intake. Sometimes I'm just surviving on sweets because I'm too stressed out to even focus on the fact that I wanted to nourish my body. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to take away my sweets. I'm just meaning that I'm going to implement a bit more home cooked foods, a bit more like fruits and vegetables, and have my sweets after that. It works as well. So, and for my artistic journey, hence why we are all here right now, hopefully, probably, I don't know, I guess. I want to be kind to myself. I want to try and not ignore my imperfections, but embrace my imperfections, to embrace all of my mistakes that I make. And I try to basically find the validation for the art that I create within me and not external. And now to the last part that nearly, like, not broke me, but nearly kept me away completely from doing art ever again. And this is basically just external validation. It is really good and nice to have someone in your friend group or your family that is supportive of you. It's perfectly fine. It is okay to get, or it feels really nice to get validation from strangers on the internet that tell you how pretty your art is. Again, it feels really good because you work really hard for your art piece to get created, and you appreciate when people appreciate your art. That's also not a problem. The problem starts when you have critics in your surroundings and you expect people to love your art as much as you do, but people have really subjective opinions about art. And art is really, really art is really, really, really subjective, and I can understand that not. Nearly dropped my phone. I can understand that not everyone loves my art, especially my inked art, but also this, because I have basically two hearts in my chest when it comes to art, and it's one, my horror or like really dark gothic ink sketches or paintings, because growing up I have been in the punk and goth scene, and I've always had this like pull towards everything creepy, dark and death and all that stuff, and this haunting, beautiful things. And then the other side is basically most of the time my surrealism, or like also my not really creepy but weird oil paintings. They are not really normal in the end. And it's because normal is really boring to me. Okay, that sounded really mean. Not every art that is like normal in a way is boring. I don't say that, or I don't mean that. But I don't want my art to be normal. I want my art to be this, or even my ink paintings. So I want this weird twist. I want when people, or I like when people tell me like that they never expected certain things in my paintings. Sometimes I'm having issues with the TH. I'm so sorry. With certain with certain things. That's how I want to say that. I'm German, okay? We don't have a TH. I'm so sorry. I I've always been struggling with the TH in the English language. I'm so sorry. Anyways, back to the paintings. I really like that. That my paintings are weird, because I am a weird person, and I like that my paintings and my art reflect my personality. But I know people that dislike my art for this exact reason. They dislike my art because it's weird, it's not normal, and some people just like conformity. Conformity. And they like to have everything normal and in order and without any unexpected things. And these people in my surroundings let me know that they like my art, like the technique of my art, but they dislike the surrealism or the horror. And it's absolutely fine that people dislike that. But when I started out my art, I was so focused and how's it called? Depending on other people's opinions, that every time someone not even critiqued my art, but only told me that it's not their kind of art that they like, my world shattered, and I didn't want to do art for however long it took me to go back to the pool that I want to do art. So yeah, it's something that I've been really struggling with, and I came to that point, and I can't tell you how I came to that point. I came to the point where I was like, fuck it. I just do art for the sake of creating, not for other people's opinions. It was a time when I thought that I probably will never have an online following, or not even enough to live from my art or even sell one painting. And when I lost this expectation, I've lost the expectation for people in my surrounding to tell me that my art is good or that they love my art even. I don't care what people think about my art now. And sometimes it itches when someone is saying something negative about my art, but it's not so hurtful anymore that I want to give up art as a whole. So again, I can't tell you how I've reached this point. Probably when I reached rock bottom in my mental health in the past couple of months, and I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm just doing art for the fun, and that's it. And then I realized, okay, I don't need external validation because I just love my art. And I think it all started with this, the nun that I've did, because I've been too afraid to do something like this, because I thought people dislike it, because she is too creepy. But I like it. I like it. I not only like it, I love it. I created the nun and inked the whole painting in one day, in one go. I had so terrible back pain after that because I've been crouching over my desk for about 8 to 9 hours, I don't know. And then in the end I just loved everything about this whole sketch or ink drawing, ink painting. I don't know how you want to call it. And I created this, and then I didn't create for another couple of weeks again. But I think this was the first time where I didn't send around the painting to other people because I knew that people would dislike this painting. And I just shown it to my partner, who really liked it. And that's basically it. I think for the first couple of weeks I haven't shown this ink painting to any other human being beside my partner. And it helped me realizing how much I can love and appreciate my own art without external validation. And again, I just went to that fuck it point. I'm just not showing my art anymore. And it really helps. It really helps. I don't think that everyone wants to see your art. Like my mom always told me that she wants to see every one of my art pieces. I even stopped that. I show her when we meet up at my flat or at my home. And that's it. I don't show her any pictures or anything anymore. Not because my mom critiques me in any way. She is more like the supportive kind of mom. I can't do anything that she wouldn't tell me that it's ugly in any way, shape or form. But I don't want this external force to critique my art in any way. And this really helps me. So, where do we go from here? I just realized that this will be a very long video. I'm so sorry. But it's just the intro to basically a new chapter in my life. Hopefully. I'm just hoping that I'm able to keep up all of this. Anyways, we are at the end now. I promise I won't continue talking for too long now. Where do we go from here? That's basically the big question that I had in mind, and I don't really have an answer for you. I still want to follow my dream of becoming a artist that sells her art. I'm currently an artist that doesn't sell her art, but I still am an artist. And I just want to sell my art at one point. I want to try out new techniques in art. How's it called in English? Is it called linoleum printing? I put it up on the screen, hopefully. I hope that I don't forget that. But there's this technique where you like cut out a print and then you have a special paint and you put it on and you can print this painting on different things or on different papers and stuff. I think it's called a linoleum print in English, but I'm not quite sure. Anyways, I want to try out that. Either way. I still want to continue with my ink drawings, and I want to continue sharing my art in shorts and even in this long form content on my channel as well, because it's really important for me. Sorry, my chair is really squeaky. I know that. I'm so sorry that it squeaks. I can't do anything about it. Anyways. Now it gets really violently squeaky. Wow. Amazing. Anyways. I want to continue with my ink paintings. I want to continue sharing everything in shorts on YouTube or on my Instagram or on my TikTok as well. But I also want to take you along in long form content like this video to figure out my way as an artist and figure out my way as an artist, or to become an artist that sells her art. And also because I'm not only doing art with paintings and stuff, but also art with crochet and wool. I will share that in the future as well. I have been in the past, and I love crochet, so I will share that as well. And that's basically it. Maybe some draw with me's here and there in a long format, or just the follow my journey videos, which this is the first of those. So yeah, that's my plan. I for once want to challenge myself to bite through the pain and through the self-doubt, and to just keep on continuing with art and creation of art and sharing of art, and to accept that external validation will not always be positive. It can also be negative in the future, and it can be really unreasonably negative in the future. But I just have to navigate through that, because I love my art and I love my creations, and I still want to share that with the world, and I still want people to see my art, and I've realized that there are people out there that like my art, and that I'm not the only one that loves certain pieces that I've created in the past. So yeah, that's my journey. I'm going to start it with this video, which is kind of terrifying now that I'm filming this video. Because the self-doubt starts creeping in again, if I'm good enough. But I don't have to be good enough. I just have to be me and myself, and I just have to share my stuff. So, fuck self-doubt, I guess. So, yeah, I'm just hoping to see you guys in my next video. I still hope you liked this video, even though it was a really long video. I am really sorry, but I wanted to get this all off my chest to give you an insight on who I am and why I do what I do. And I just wanted to start this whole new journey of me, of showing my art and creating art and stuff like that. So yeah, I just hope to see you guys in my next video. So yeah, have a nice day or night, whatever it is, and I see you in the next one, I guess. Bye guys.